Put on your 4th of July bras and panties and welcome to the Working Crass podcast. This is Lauren here.
Howdy, y'all.
And I'm Joshua. Saddle up. And, we are so happy to celebrate the 4th of July with you.
Celebrate the independence of our great A nation.
The number one nation. And we escaped from the Brits, and never forget that.
Never forget.
We escaped from them damn Brits.
And we'll fight them again.
We'll fight them again. Every time I meet a Brit, I fuck his butt.
I go, get over here, you Brit.
Get on over here, you Brit.
Show me your hole.
Show me that hole, Brit. Anyway, and this is what we do in this podcast. We talk about the things that the horse shit going on in the world.
We do.
Because there's a lot of stinky ass horse shit out there in the farm.
There is.
And but it's going on in the world. It's going on in our lives. All kinds of horse shit.
Everything's happening. We've been so busy, and the world's been busy. Everything. There's just a lot.
Well, we've been off for a couple of weeks of doing the podcast here, but I will say that a lot has happened.
We've had to attend some weddings with some very hairy bridesmaids.
We did attend a wedding with a sloth. And that's very true. But so much was happening. The Roe v. Wade thing happened.
Yeah, so then we took a day off because we figured we needed to have a moment of silence
for all of the women who can't have abortions. And all of the babies inside of their bellies.
And all of the women who still will.
All of the women who still will, no matter what. That's the best argument, is like, you can say, you can get rid of abortion all you want. You could ban abortion all you want. They'll still happen. It's like, oh, okay. I guess there's no problem.
Well, fine. If you say so.
I guess it'll just keep happening. That fixes that problem. But, even more important than that, I would say, a story that happened back in June 23rd. So not long ago, around the same time period, and I don't think anybody really heard of, and I think is way, way more important than this Roe v. Wade thing. And that is breastfeeding mom fights off bald eagle to save pet goose.
Well, this is why we need Roe v. Wade.
Why exactly? To get rid of the baby she's breastfeeding? Because this would be, I'll admit, fighting off a bald eagle that's fucking with your pet goose is much easier if you didn't have to breastfeed that baby.
If you didn't have to waste your time breastfeeding that damn baby, she could have been out there getting that goose out of the way before the bald eagle swooped down.
As Kate Oakley was breastfeeding her daughter Willow, she heard her pet goose Frankie squawking at the front of the house. Already the best story of the year. Okay, why isn't CNN and MSNBC reporting this? Why do I have to hear this from Yahoo News?
Because Yahoo News, they're ahead of the curve.
They're ahead of the curve. That's right.
They know. They were like, picture this. Set the scene. A goose is honking and squawking out front. A woman, her bosom out.
She's completely, if you look at the photo here, she's just in underwear. She's in a man's tidy whities. And breastfeeding her kid. I mean, she's completely topless. And then I love, it even says, Oakley could tell there was something wrong, so she peered outside and saw an eagle was circling her beloved pet. She rushed outside half naked. I'd say almost full naked.
That's 3/4 naked.
With Willow still at her breast. You can't just put the kid down for a second to go fight the bald eagle that's going to get your goose. When you got a goose that's gonna get got, you got to put the baby down.
See, what you don't know about bald eagles is they hate breastfeeding in public. They're very against it. So as soon as they see it, they're just like thrown off guard. She knew that.
They start to stumble. They wobble back.
They're like, boobs and babies. Oh,
the baby's drinking from the boob. I'm confused. Wow, interesting. I went to the front door with Willow latched on me, just thinking I'll take a peek out the window. And that's when, in that split second, the eagle came down, and it was at my front door. So I threw the door open. There was nowhere to put Willow down at that point. I think it quotes things, but then it keeps going. Like maybe the writer of this article is this woman, but she's just pretending. Like, I had to tell my story.
Well, they're quoting her.
I could have been
They
naked.
interviewed her.
She goes, I could have been naked. And I'm like, whatever. I'm feeding my baby. You were naked. Wearing only her underwear and clutching a feeding 4-month-old baby, the mom chased after the eagle to save her goose. That's the best sentence of all time.
Wow.
Wearing only her underwear and clutching a feeding 4-month-old baby, the mom chased after the eagle to save a goose. I mean, if this was those writing exams that you give to children, they have to do creative writing, and it started with that, I go immediate 100%. This is the attention getter statement.
Or this is like one of those ad libs thing, and they were just like plug in
A breastfeeding mother.
What's an action? Breastfeeding. She fights off name an animal, bald eagle, and to save
Her pet, another animal?
Noun, goose.
Goose. Frankie the Goose has a TikTok account, by the way, and so when they posted this, it soon went viral. Even though loads of people had seen the mom of 3 topless and in her underwear, she's not embarrassed. She was simply feeding her child and taking care of her pet. And they look like a nice, happy family. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She looks like Michaela Peterson. Is this Michaela Peterson? That would have been the top of the article. Michaela Peterson runs outside topless to save her pet goose.
And she would have said, and it's all thanks to my all-meat diet that I had the strength to be able to breastfeed and fight a bald eagle at the same time. Yeah.
It's not immediately evident to me that goose posed any harm to the bald eagle. And the bald eagle posed no harm to the goose. It's not immediately evident to me that she should have run outside with her breasts dangling out. But she's my daughter. Oh, boy.
I do feel like a woman fighting a bald eagle while breastfeeding to save a pet goose, it feels like this could be a good metaphor for America.
Oh, yeah. This should be our flag.
Oh, my God. You're absolutely right. This should be our petition for a new flag to have a breastfeeding mother fighting a bald eagle saving a goose.
That is the American flag.
That is the American dream.
You just need a heroin needle in her. She needs to be passed out on the floor, OD'd on opiates. And then it's the American flag.
Yeah.
She needs to be smoking a cigarette while she's running out breastfeeding to fight off the bald eagle from her. The bald eagle from
the
her.
Bald eagle. And we need to have like the Walmart logo right in the corner
of the American flag.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Walmart. The American flag. Sponsored by Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oakley's heroism was even featured on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Aptly named the kind of story we need right now. Well, we said that too, so I think we said it first. At least we said it before I read that. So.
Well, hey, every now and then a blind squirrel gets a nut. So.
And every now and then a bald eagle gets a goose. Oh, man.
Ladies, let this be a lesson to you.
Was Seth Meyers like, so get this. She goes out there breastfeeding her child. There's a bald eagle about to fight a goose. And Donald Trump shows up and he goes, I don't like any of this. And the audience goes, yeah.
No, he just goes, and Donald Trump shows up and he's bad.
And he's bad.
Ba-dum-bum.
Donald Trump shows up and his hands are small. Why are my hands so small?
My hands are so small, I can't fight off the bald eagle.
That's funny.
That
And
yeah.
she runs out breastfeeding. There's a bald eagle attacking her goose. And what do you know it? A Republican walks out and goes, I have a tiny penis. So thank you. That's my time. Let's go interview Millie Bobby Brown. So what was it like making a TV show when you know that at one point in time in human history, Trump was in office? It was fun to do a movie, but Trump... That's every late night show now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to say, if you enjoy our podcast, if you're a regular listener, then thank you for regularly listening or watching on YouTube, which is great. We get more views on the YouTube stuff. But, to continue to follow everything we do in the future, which we have plenty of more things that we'll continue to do here, follow us on Instagram at Working Crass Pod. We are also available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, Working Crass Podcast, and on YouTube as Working Crass Podcast with Josh and Lauren. This month we are getting married. The two of us are getting hitched, and it's a magical time, and there's just a glow in the air, and everybody is so happy and excited.
They're so happy for us.
And our event is going to be so extravagant.
And everybody's going to be looking at us.
And you know what? We love to be looked at, and we love attention. That's why we do a podcast where we don't put our last names up and don't allow anyone to find us, because we love the attention.
We love it. We love it. We think if your eyes aren't on us, why do you even have eyes?
What's the point of having eyes if you're not going to watch us be wed in front of our friends and family? Anyway,
because our love and our wedding and our stuff,
magic,
it's better than anybody else's.
Oh my goodness.
It hasn't been done before like this.
Oh my goodness. You should see Lauren when we're planning this wedding. When she doesn't get something she wants, she goes, "Excuse me, absolutely not. This is my wedding."
I go, "Daddy, I want an Oompa Loompa now."
But no, since we are getting married this month, we're busy people, so we might not have as many episodes out in the last couple of weeks and in the coming weeks. Yeah. But I'm happy to announce that in the month of August, we will have brand new episodes every single Monday from then on, continuously. Mm-hmm. We promise. Mm-hmm. And maybe some little videos and stuff too, little sketches and stuff that we've talked about doing. Yeah. So not only are you going to get more Working Crass podcasts starting in August every single Monday, but you're also going to get more content as well. How's that sound? Will that make up for the absence? I mean,
it sounds good to me.
That means maybe even more TikToks for people to get mad at us about.
Maybe even more gooses to be gotten by bald eagle.
Maybe more bald eagles will get more gooses because of this. But since we are getting married, I wanted to know, because we want to stay together. That's my goal, at least. That's what I hope. Yeah. But I heard that I saw this article, and it says this behavior is the #1 predictor of divorce, and you're guilty of it. And that worries me. At first, I'm like, oh, what's the behavior? But then it tells me I'm guilty of it immediately. So I'm like, oh,
so we're already doing it.
We're already doing it. So we're already getting divorced. The title of this article means everyone's going to get a divorce no matter what, and you're going to get one too. So let's figure out what this was. Ever catch yourself rolling your eyes at your partner or getting a little too sarcastic during a conversation?
Never.
No.
Never. If there's one thing you should know by listening to Working Crass podcast at this point in time, it's we are never sarcastic.
There's not a bit of sarcasm in our relationship and in our lives.
Or in our comedy.
Or in our personalities. We are having an extra, not in our comedy at all.
Some would say we don't do comedy.
Those seemingly small behaviors are not that innocent after all. According to renowned researcher John Gottman, contemptuous behavior like eye-rolling, sarcasm, and name-calling is the #1 predictor of divorce. Now, what do you think about that? Do you believe that?
Eye-rolling, sarcasm, and name-calling? I mean, I feel like that's what our relationship is built on.
I know. Exactly. I mean, this is all, but I could see this as one of those things where if you're an egotistical bitch and eye-rolling, name-calling, and sarcasm pisses you off because it points out how stupid you are all the time, then I could see how you would want to get a divorce. But I'm not married to an egotistical bitch. I'm married to an angel.
Aww.
Okay. That was
sarcasm. See, do you get it now?
but do you see what I'm saying? Like I get if you're in a relationship and you like are not honest about who you are or not honest about how you feel with somebody else, those things can start to like poke at you and annoy you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're just honest with each other, and usually that's our way of like blowing off steam, is joking around.
Yeah. That's our default, is to be very sarcastic with each other and also to call each other names.
I mean, how many times in our 6 years of dating, which today, by the way, everyone, is our anniversary as well. Our anniversary of meeting, 6 years. Mm-hmm. You're like, 9 years.
10 years. 20.
But, no, shit, what was I going to say? Oh, how many, in those 6 years, how many times have you said, that's mean?
Well, I mean, I probably say that like...
once a day?
Well, I would say probably between 6 to 15 times a day. On average.
Quit being mean.
That's mean.
That's mean. You're mean.
You're so mean.
But we're just joking.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. We're all laughing.
Yeah, we're joking.
Yeah.
I'm totally joking. Like, totally.
Lauren's like, and sometimes the jokes have bruises, and that's okay.
And sometimes, like, my heart feels like it's breaking inside, but it's fine.
These are the signs of a good, healthy marriage, okay? Now, it says, for 40 years, University of Washington psychology professor and his team at the Gottman Institute have studied couples interactions to determine the key predictors of divorce, or as Gottman calls them, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Wow, what a cool guy. One of the things is to realize delivery is everything. Remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it that makes all the difference. Contempt often comes in the form of name-calling, snickering, sarcasm, eye-rolling, and long, heavy sighs. Like a poison, it can erode the trust and safety in your relationship and bring your marriage to a slow death.
Well, I think then we're okay because it doesn't say anything about mocking your wife with a witch voice.
Yeah.
I think we're okay because it doesn't say anything about mocking your wife with a witch voice.
That's literally what we do all day long.
So I think
she's like, she goes, did you brush your teeth? And I go,
did you brush your teeth?
Isn't that not the perfect impersonation of her laugh too? It's the witch from Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about mocking your partner with a witch voice, so I think we're okay.
It doesn't say anything about mocking your witch with a partner voice?
Yeah, it doesn't say that either. It doesn't say anything about your bald eagle getting your goose getting your bald eagle, breastfeeding your child, none of it.
Well, here's the next thing we should do. Ban the word whatever from your vocabulary. When you say whatever... Whatever. When you say whatever to your partner, you're basically saying you're not going to listen to them. This sends them a message that whatever they're talking about is unimportant and has no merit to you. But what if what they're talking about is unimportant and has no merit to me?
Yeah, they're like, well, what do you want? And you don't, like, what do you want for dinner? And you just don't really care. And you're just like, whatever.
Whatever.
Get whatever.
Or you're...
Am I not allowed to say that?
Or you're like, stop hitting me. You're bruising me. You're hurting me. Whatever. Whatever. What about that hurt? Whatever. that might be a real one. But not me hurting you. That's just you getting hurt, and I don't believe how much it actually hurts.
Josh, can you please go save our goose? A bald eagle is trying to attack it, and I'm busy breastfeeding our child.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is he not allowed to do that?
Stay clear of sarcasm and mean-spirited jokes. We love sarcasm and mean-spirited jokes. Avoid sarcasm in comments like, I'll bet you do, or, oh, that was super funny, in a rude tone of voice.
Well, then we're okay, because we don't ever tell each other we're funny. So
that's such a lie. We do constantly. That's why there's a podcast of it's just both of us going, you're so funny. Thanks. You're so funny too. When I edit this, when I edit the podcast, I do it in like double speed so I can like get through it quickly. And us talking is like blah 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 blah. Just us laughing. But I like that. I like to watch back what makes us laugh. Because it's possible that what makes us laugh makes other people laugh too. But not likely. Anyway, stay clear of sarcasm and mean-spirited jokes. While you're at it, don't make jokes at the expense of your partner or make universal comments about his or her gender. You would say that. You're a guy. Oh, man, I do this in every relationship I've ever been in. And they all ended except this one. But I usually do it not to the other person. I usually do it, oh, that's because I'm a guy. I do that because I'm a guy. I go, if they're like, can you please clean up? I go, I'm the man. I don't do that.
Well, I usually go, Joshua, can you help me? Because my teeny tiny woman brain won't let me process what I'm doing.
And I go over and I squeeze your head and make your brain work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. You massage my brain.
Thank you.
I do have to open things. Can you please open this jar?
But that's less because I'm a woman and more because I'm an 80-year-old person with arthritic hands.
You are 80 years old and you do have arthritis.
I also, what did we discover? I have like Parkinson's too because my hands constantly shake. And sometimes Josh will have me like film like a comedy show that they're doing.
Yeah.
And halfway through filming, it's like somebody is having a seizure behind the camera. I'm shaking so badly.
Yeah.
Like my hands cannot stay steady at all.
Oh, yeah. I would, yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's bad. But that's okay.
I just felt like we really needed to get into the serious nitty-gritty of Lauren's unstable hands.
I thought about grabbing the camera and trying to do it as an example, but
we don't want to make you throw up while watching this, so
I also don't want to reset it. Okay, anyway. Another thing to help us save our marriage here is to don't live in the past. Most couples start showing contempt because they have a lot of little things built up. To avoid contempt altogether, you need to stay current in your communications along the way. If you're unhappy about something, say it directly. See, this is where I think we don't apply to the other things. So we never nothing. We don't hold contempt for each other. I don't think. At least I don't to you. But maybe maybe you hold a lot of contempt for me.
Just you wait. I'm just kidding.
But I think we're always very open and honest. We're always if we have any concern, we also always do that directly to one another.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
I think like that's the most important knowledge. I think that's the key part that like everything else should fall under. Like, yes, if you're not direct with people and you don't say, how you feel honestly all the time, then sarcasm kind of comes across as like, well, that's the only time when you're honest with me and it's mean, like, I don't know. That's, it doesn't work. You have to know when somebody's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we don't have a lot of friends.
You know what? You might be onto
This
something.
might be just-
because we do also use sarcasm and mean-spirited jokes with other people.
Exactly. And then only certain people will latch on and feel good about that, and certain people will not. I guess that's always been the case, though, because I remember in high school being like, when I meet someone new, that's all I'm doing is testing how far I can push what
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah, same.
And so I'll say something slightly, and I push a little farther,
Same.
and but usually it ends up with just that person doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah,
I cross a
same,
line and that person doesn't like me anymore. But I don't know. I find people that can just speak openly to be more interesting.
Yeah.
And usually the people that can't are really, I would say spoiled, entitled. Usually, they can't take other worldviews in easily because they're
Yeah,
accustomed to a
yeah.
certain worldview. Whereas I'd rather talk to the lady on the bus who's like, my husband has cancer and I lost a foot. That's more interesting.
It is more interesting. You're right.
That person you can have a conversation with. My damn son's gay. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. And then you look around and make sure no one heard you say that.
But then you also have to whisper the sorry part. You're like, I'm
Sorry to hear that. And they're like, no, it's great. And you're like, no, yeah, it's great. It's great.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
That's what
It's
I
great.
said. That's what I said. You weren't listening. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you the first time. That's why I said I'm sorry. Thanks for repeating. He's gay and it's great.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like people who can't handle that kind of joking tend to, I think, be just more me-centered.
Mm-hmm.
They're instead of we-centered.
Yeah.
It's people who I think definitely it's like an ego thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's, they tend to be more wrapped up in their own insecurities, and so they're too focused on themselves, and they're not living in the moment and able to let go of that kind of stuff.
I think that I think that there's a big problem with thinking that humor is inherently mean. And I don't think it is. I think it's a way that we communicate and bring joy to other people.
Or that joking in that sort
mean-spirited,
of ribbing each other kind of thing is mean, but underneath the surface, it's actually a way for you to connect with people.
Exactly, 100%. And usually
it cuts you down to size. It puts us all on equal footing, and it's look, we're just all a bunch of dildos trying to dildo around here.
But people don't understand that that's not how you think of them. You don't actually think that of them or think the mean thing that you're saying. You do think the thought, and acknowledging it is what brings us all together. But you don't think, that doesn't make you think less of that person.
Yep.
It's the weird thing was because Dave Chappelle is making jokes about trans people, they think that he thinks less of trans people. And it's just not true. It's it's just acknowledging somebody who's different than him and trying to work through that in his own psyche by making jokes and making people laugh.
Yeah.
And it's harmless, I think. I believe it's harmless. But we all know about the serial killers who were inspired by stand-up comedians.
Oh, yeah. There's a very long list.
A very long list of those.
There's 12 podcasts you can listen to that'll explain how that works.
Watch your body language. If you find yourself rolling your eyes or smirking, it's a signal that your relationship could be headed for trouble. I don't know if we roll our eyes too often, although I did recently, and you went, "Did you just roll your eyes at me?" So I realized how powerful it was, and I never did it again.
I went Super Saiyan.
Yeah, oh, you did.
Did you just roll your eyes at me? The Queen Witch.
All right, I'll keep going. Don't ever tell your spouse you're overreacting. Uh-oh.
What about telling your partner, I banish thee?
I banish thee to the rape shack.
Because I do say that quite often.
Yeah, you do. Don't tell your spouse you're overreacting. When you say your significant other is overreacting, what you're really saying is that their feelings are unimportant to you. But their feelings are unimportant to me, and they are overreacting. That's the truth. There are times when you're more worried than you need to be.
Oh, yeah.
And there's times when I'm more worried than I need to be, and you need to tell me that I'm overreacting.
Yeah.
And that's a way of calming someone down, not telling them that they're it is a way of telling them that their emotions are not valid. And that's true. Their emotions are not valid.
And honestly, if you're as secure in your relationship as Josh and I are, when somebody tells you you're overreacting, your proper response is to go, well, you're underreacting. And then it balances each other out.
Absolutely. Then you find the perfect reaction spot. You have to find out. One of you has to push against the other. You have to find that sweet reaction G spot.
Yeah. And when it hits, oh, baby.
If you find yourself being contemptuous, stop and take a deep breath. Well, this 100% I've always done. And make it your goal to become aware of what contempt is. Then find out specifically what it looks like in your marriage. When you feel the urge to go there, take a deep breath and say stop quietly to yourself. Find another way to make your point. Contempt is a bad habit like smoking or nail biting. With work, you can break it.
I don't know. I find that a little creepy. You just hear the other person in the room just being like, stop. Stop. Stop.
Okay, saying stop quietly to yourself is very weird. But I do recommend anytime you find yourself about to say something stupid, take a deep breath and let it out. And I do that all the time.
Stop, you son of a bitch. Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it. You will stop.
Stop it. Stop it, or I'll brew a potion.
I'm sorry, I just find the quiet saying quietly to yourself to stop. Just there's something about that. It's creepy but also funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Stop it. I feel like, oh my God, is he possessed?
Quit it. But
Azazel demands me to stop.
But we definitely, if we get over emotional or over angered or in any way, we do take a deep breath, and breathing is a very good way to move past those irrational emotions.
Although sometimes I will, as a bit, if he tells me to take a deep breath, I will go.
Oh my God, I hate that. She's in the middle of panicking, and you're like, take a deep breath, and she goes. I'm just like, okay, now breathe it out. Take several deep breaths. Actually breathe.
I think it's so funny.
It's like, don't stop at one, you idiot.
So, what did we learn here? Are we getting divorced? Is that?
Yup. Good news. That whole thing where we weren't going to have some podcasts this month because of our wedding, it's been canceled. We'll get episodes out to you every week from a divorced couple.
And we have a mediator in the room with us.
Oh my God. Now that's a podcast. And we just fight.
Yeah. Just like real passive aggressive stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, moving on is a article that you sent me here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
And it's 2022. Why are we still using fat suits in film and TV?
A very, very good and important question.
Now, this is Glamour magazine? Okay. And chances are you've probably seen a movie or TV show where fat suits are worn. You might not have twigged the presence of the fat suit. What? What does that mean? You might not have twigged the presence of the fat suit, let alone perceived it as harmful, offensive, or potentially damaging. After all, it's just an actor in a fat suit, right? Right? Okay, you got me so far. It is just an actor in a fat suit. Fat suits have been around for decades, and despite never-ending controversy over them, they still seem to be a thing in 2022, with the latest example being Emma Thompson wearing one for the new adaptation of Matilda. But how do these figure reshapers actually impact the representation of bigger bodies in Hollywood and in the media? Okay, here's the thing. This is the same thing with somebody playing a different sexuality, or somebody playing a different race, or somebody playing a different gender, somebody playing anything. They are actors. They're acting. They're pretending to be something else. They don't have to be what they're acting as.
I disagree, Joshua. If you want to play the Trunchbull in Matilda,
you got to be a biggin.
You have to be a biggin, and you have to have an actual chokey in your basement, and you're locking little kids up in there daily. And you have to eat chocolates all the time and go, much too good for children.
Right. That makes sense.
And if you're not doing any of those things, then how could you possibly get into the mindset of the Trunchbull? Like, it doesn't make sense.
And they're like, sorry, Matthew Broderick, you cannot do the voice of Simba. You're not a lion. You don't live in Africa.
We are going out, searching the savannas of Africa for a lion that can speak our human language and understand human emotion, but has the lived experience of an African lion.
It's so weird. Or there was the thing with Bryan Cranston where he played a guy in a wheelchair. They all got mad because that should go to a guy in a wheelchair. And, the argument a lot of people will make is like, it should just go to the best actor. It should go to like the person who plays the part the best. And, and if they can play the part, then that's really all that matters. I kind of disagree. I agree with that. But it's also like the person that you want to hang out with the best, or, your friend who wants to play the part. Like, if you're making a movie, you're making a movie. You're making it with the people that you know usually. And I don't see a problem with that. If the person, like, if somebody who is in a wheelchair wants to make a movie and cast other people in a wheelchair, then go ahead and make the movie. We shouldn't be trying to reshape what other people's movies look like. We should allow artists to create whatever it is that they want to make. Like, if I was going to make a movie, it would not be about the Black experience, because I don't understand the Black experience and I didn't live the Black experience. So I'm not the person to make the movie about the Black experience.
Yeah.
But somebody else is the person to make that. I think
if that person wants to play every character in that movie and wear fat suits throughout it,
then his name would be Eddie Murphy.
Exactly. Thank you.
But I don't think that the goal should be to change other people's art to what you want it to be. I think the goal should be to allow making things to be easier and more accessible to people, and allow, YouTube is great. YouTube is good and bad. YouTube is great because anybody can post on it and you can create something and share it with the world. Yep. It's bad now because, CBS and NBC and CNN are able to buy their way onto the front page of YouTube. So now all you discover is clips from The Late Show, just whatever's on TV, right? Hollywood took over YouTube. But we need more platforms for people to create independent art. I even though TikTok is like stupid and there's a bunch of like young people just that are stupid using it and it's run by China, I like it because and Vine and stuff like that. Vine
doesn't exist anymore.
I know it doesn't exist anymore, but TikTok is very similar to Vine as well. But regardless, the point and things like Instagram, they promote. You should have platforms to create things, and we shouldn't be kicking people off of them either.
Yeah, I agree. The future of film should be on TikTok.
Look, I'm just saying we should be giving more people the tools to make their own things, and not to just criticize other people who make things and say this is how you need to make things the way I want them. Make your own fucking thing.
Yeah. I agree with that. I also think this is kind of a catch-22 because, okay, you'll complain if you have a thin person wearing a fat suit portraying a character because they haven't had the lived experience. But if you were to cast a fat person to play the Trunchbull, then we're going to get an article about how we're portraying fat people only as negative villainous characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's bad, and we can't have that either.
Yeah. It's almost like they're professional complainers, and they'll just complain about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just like their personality trait is to complain.
Yeah. Well, it's just like a power trip.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the thing that I can criticize you because it makes me feel like I have the upper hand morally.
Yeah, absolutely. And people will get on my side because it's the woke good thing to do.
Which makes me feel powerful.
I feel I get power out of it. Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. I love a good fat suit, and I wouldn't mind doing a whole month of Working Crass podcast in fat suits.
We just come on. You know those like blow up sumo suits?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I think while we're at it, we should also be like culturally appropriating.
Oh, Native American sumos?
Yeah. Native American headdress, sumo suit,
Yeah.
blow up sumo suits.
And we go, hey, it's the Working Crass podcast. Oh boy. So are there any other like big examples of fat suits? Oh, this is Hairspray. Is that what this is?
I believe so.
And what's his name? John Travolta.
Yeah.
That was a famous fat suit. That was a good one.
Yeah,
that's
was
a good
great fat suit. That's a great fat suit.
That's a good fat suit.
Yeah.
So let's give that one a pass. What
I'll
other
give that one a pass.
What other fat suits are in here? Oh, the
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
That's a good fat suit.
That's a great fat suit.
I'll give that one a pass
Because
too.
he didn't see the fat suit. Only we saw the fat suit.
Only we saw the fat suit.
And he was like,
Shallow Hal, good movie overall. It's like I like I like the skinny girl.
yeah.
I have to physically view her differently in order to like her.
Yeah, I really felt like the message was I'm physically repulsed by ugly people. So if I can at least pretend that they're all 10s and above, then I can get through my day.
That'd actually be pretty sweet because then all of the ugly people look hot to you, and ugly people are easier to score with. And so you just have all these hot people and you score with them real easy.
I think if that's not the American dream, if this isn't the most 4th of July movie, I don't know what is.
Guarantee. Here's what's going to happen, because abortion is going to end up being the law of the land at this point. They're going to say,
oh, you think without abortion, without Roe v. Wade, we should have like a shallow howling of all the people in America? Is that what you were going for?
Kind of. What I'm saying is abortion's going to make a comeback now that they're so mad about it.
Yeah, of course.
That we're going to abort so many kids, and you know, it's already like the decline of people having kids. Like people are having way less kids now.
Do you think people go like, I need to abort my baby because it's going to be too ugly?
Absolutely. 100 all the time. I would do that. You're not going to have an ugly baby. What are you talking about? Ew. No. No, but so with people having less kids, we're gonna have an emergency where we don't have enough people. We need people to start having kids, and the way that they're gonna promote it is we're gonna use our VR AI technology to easily augment what ugly people look like, make them all hot, and it promotes more fucking. And we're gonna get a lot of people fucking.
Oh.
And I just think that's the way to do it.
Yeah. You might be onto something.
I see my mom is calling you over there. Should we put her on the podcast? Let me answer it.
You want to talk to your mom?
Yeah, let's see here.
Guys, we're going to talk to Josh's mom on the podcast here for a minute.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey,
Wait. Before you, we're recording a podcast right now.
Okay, I just want to make sure y'all were okay. That's it.
Oh, no, we're okay. You're on the podcast.
Oh, thanks. Well, Nana told me that y'all went to a parade and there was a bunch of shootings at the parade. So.
Oh, really?
Alive. That's all I was checking, that y'all were alive.
Here in Chicago, there was a shooting at the parade?
Yeah, she said right around Highland something.
There's no shootings in Chicago ever.
That's what I thought.
Well, thanks for letting us know. Yeah, we didn't go. We don't go to anything in Chicago.
That's good.
We stay safe and inside.
Good.
All right. I love you.
I love you too. I just want to make sure you're alive.
All right. We're alive. Lori Lightfoot hasn't shot us in the head yet.
Well, good, because if she did, you would probably turn into some kind of alien.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Well, you heard it here first on the Working Crass podcast. If Lori Lightfoot were to shoot you, you would turn into an alien.
Turn into some kind of alien. I should have been like, Mom, I'm gay, to hear her go, I knew it. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Well, there we go.
Was
My sister Emma is always asking, like, how does she get on the podcast? Just call me while we're recording the podcast. Come on, Emma. If you want to be on the podcast, you just give us a call.
If you want to be on the podcast, Emma, you need to call us to let us know that there's been a shooting in Chicago, which there's so many. Like,
There's
you have
so
a lot of
many.
opportunities to call us.
I get this call all the time. There's another shooting. Everything okay?
Just checking to make sure you weren't dead.
Nana says that there's another shooting. All right. Well, let's move on.
Wait.
What?
What other fat suits can you think of in movies that were, like, really good?
Is this supposed to be a fat suit?
I don't know.
I don't see any others.
I don't know who that is or what it is.
So Eddie Murphy, obviously, that's a big one that
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
would
even
say
put on there.
Eddie Murphy's is like, how many of Eddie Murphy's movies? I think it's easier to probably count how many don't use fat suits.
Yeah,
than do.
absolutely. There's way more fat suits than there are not fat suits. Wait, I wonder what you called if that turned off my camera here. Hold on. Okay, it's still on.
You checking?
Yeah.
Checking the camera.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
Oh yeah,
Great
Tyler Perry.
fat. That's like one of the best fat suits. If you
Yeah,
think
you're gonna
about it.
tell Glamour magazine. You're gonna tell us we can't have Medea.
Yeah, you want to tell black people they can't have Medea?
You really want to tell black people you're gonna take Medea away from them just because it's hateful towards fat people?
I don't know if you know this, but Tyler Perry is a beloved figure of the black community, so good luck with that.
I don't know if you know this, but Medea ain't going nowhere.
That's her next movie.
Medea ain't going nowhere. Oh man, because she's gotten so fat, the fat suit's like bigger than ever, and
It's the biggest fat suit they could find, and she's like, "I'm not going
Medea
nowhere.
ain't going nowhere, kids. Medea got too big."
Medea's sitting right here on this couch, boo."
All right, let's finish this up here with a TikTok from Comedy Central, because everyone knows, I remember growing up watching Comedy Central. That was the best. Chappelle Show, and South Park. And
Comedy Central in like the late 90s, early 2000s is probably some of the best comedy.
Oh yeah, watching like just some of the best stand-ups even. I think the last good thing on Comedy Central is probably Key and Peele. That's like the last like really
South Park is still going.
South Park's still going.
I will say South
Nathan
Park
for You
is always great.
Nathan for You is fantastic
yeah,
as well.
That's awesome.
They sometimes get a gym.
Yeah.
Like
I said at the beginning, every now and then a blind squirrel gets a nut.
A blind squirrel gets a nut, and a bald eagle gets a goose.
So.
Well, and I think this time Comedy Central, the bald eagle got the goose. Maybe. We'll see. This is a TikTok celebrating Pride. We're a little late. We're 4 days late, but I say Pride never ends.
We celebrate it year round.
Yeah. It's nice that Pride Month is over, but now Pride Year can continue.
Can officially,
Can officially continue.
And it'll be a happy Pride decade.
Oh, I'm very happy that it'll be a prideful decade.
And the Pride Millennium will be like a really momentous occasion as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that comes with the New World Order too.
The new Pride Order?
The new Pride Order.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Absolutely.
That's correct. All right, let's check out this video from the new Pride Order on Comedy Central. All right, let's see here.
If someone goes by she, then call her she.
Yeah?
If someone goes by he, then call him he. If someone goes by they, then call them they. It doesn't mean it'll turn you gay. If you went by she and someone called you he, wouldn't you be annoyed? And if you went by he, but someone called you she, wouldn't you try and convince them that you're a boy?
I kicked their
It's not a youth trend, it's people's lives that have always been affected and disenfranchised. Doesn't matter what you think you see, it's basic human empathy. Okay, boomers, let's try it together. If someone goes by she, then call her she. If someone goes by he, then call him he. If someone goes by they, then call them they. It doesn't mean it'll turn you gay. It doesn't mean it'll turn you gay.
Oh, I get it. So I just call people what they want to be called, and then I just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Keith, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I thought so.
If someone goes...
Now,
I would love to just have that one line. I kicked their ass.
I kicked their ass. There was a lot of comments on this that were, that purple puppet's me.
I'm with the purple puppet. He knows what he's talking about. He's on to something.
This is just such a weird. Can you remember the last time you saw a sketch on Comedy Central that you thought was really funny, and the whole premise was telling you what to do and what to say?
Yeah, I believe it's that cartoon that Stephen Colbert's people put out that's
That's on
like
Showtime.
trying to be South Park, but isn't South Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one might be Comedy Central.
I think it's Comedy Central, and I think it comes on right before South Park
the
too.
little Weebles, wobble-looking people.
Yeah, the Weeble Wobble Town.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. It's so weird. It's so weird. Oh, okay. So let's break this down a little bit. Singing, she was a good singer.
She was fine.
I like the thing where she shook her tits, and
Yeah.
and the sound went dingly dingly ding.
Yeah, had a little dingling,
And she
dingling.
shook her little tits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was cool. But other than that,
I like that empathy was the letters were all in different colors.
in pride colors. Yes, that's right. That's right.
I did like that because I stopped reading a lot of the lyrics,
Yeah.
but then the colors came on, and I was like, oh, I'll read that one.
Colors. Pride flag.
Yeah.
Empathy.
Yeah.
That's me. I have empathy.
Yeah.
I'm not a villain.
I was like, empty? Yeah, don't be full, be empty.
I just find it so preachy and
What about that was preachy?
everything. And I don't like telling people to have empathy. It's like everyone has empathy. Everyone. I don't think that there's anyone that doesn't have empathy.
Well, I would
and by assuming that somebody doesn't have empathy is very unempathetic.
I
of
know.
you.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be more empathetic to understand why somebody may have a difficult time shifting to this perspective?
That would be the real empathy.
And
but the
that,
idea
like,
is
they're going to make mistakes and probably use the wrong pronouns or say something hurtful, and maybe you should just like give people the benefit of the doubt. And then if they are really, really negative people, just don't interact with them.
No, but Lauren,
Isn't that like-
Lauren. No, not their empathy, our empathy. Our definition of empathy is conformity. Our definition of empathy is doing what we want you to do. That's how you. Here's what you don't understand: is you're too stupid to know what empathy is.
Right.
I'm telling you that doing it my way is the empathetic way.
Got it. So empathy
You
is-
shouldn't know that there's another way of doing it.
Got it. So when they say,
I'm telling you what empathy is.
yeah. So when they say have empathy, they're really saying, do what I'm saying, you stupid bigot.
Yes, exactly. They say this
now
is
it
the
makes
only way to be empathetic. You can't possibly empathize with somebody who might go by a different gender pronoun than you're expecting. You can't empathize with them unless you say exactly what they tell you to say. That's the only way you can be empathetic with them.
Well, you know what I have to say to that? I kicked their ass.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Nah.
Okay, boomers, now sing along.
Because nothing says like nothing will get your message across and build a good relationship with one another than being really condescending.
Oh.
And treating another group like they're infants.
Oh, who is this video for is a great question, because this can't. No, you're right. You're condescending to people. Like, you're condescending to boomers. If this is for boomers,
they're not going to listen to that.
They're not going to listen to this because you're a rude asshole.
Yeah, they'd be like, I'm going to kick your ass.
Exactly.
I'm with the purple puppet.
You're portraying them as stupid puppets. And here's the thing is sometimes you look like a stupid puppet. Like, it's not always just the boomers.
Mm-hmm. That's really deep, Joshua, that there were two puppets in this video all along.
When you watch that video, you see the puppets, but you don't see the real puppet is the girl singing.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa, dude.
Like, she's like a puppet, and they're like, wow, dude. That's so
like, she's the puppet.
And he's a puppet.
By the way, I'll clarify now. Anybody who's ever asked me to call them any pronoun, or I've always done it. I've always called them whatever they fucking wanted. I really don't care. It really
just comes down
to the snarky. It's the snarky, condescending. You don't telling somebody that you don't have empathy unless you do what I say. It's the same thing as labeling something like Black Lives Matter, which I don't want to get too deep into, or else we're going to get murdered. But what I will say is, when you call it that, it implies that you think other people don't think that Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
It implies that anybody who disagrees with anything that you say think that people's lives don't matter based on the color of their skin. And that's just a huge generalization, which is, it's like, so now you have to agree with me because the disagreeing with my message is the most unforgivable thing in the world.
Yeah. And I also think it comes down to, like, things within reason.
Yeah.
So there are certain, like, if somebody were like, I need to be referred to as turd and turd bucket at all times.
Yes.
I might be like, I'm not going to do that.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I don't really feel comfortable doing that. That seems like maybe you should talk to somebody about this need to be called turd and turd bucket.
Right. Which I doubt that would come up, but you do have clown self. That's a thing.
Like, there's like
those things exist.
And I think some of it, especially if it's coming from, like, a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to probably be like, I don't know, maybe, like, talk about this with somebody else before you really decide and force me to change my language habits.
Yeah, definitely.
But
and
to be fair, I probably just, and this is for most of the time anyway, I usually just say people's names.
I'm gonna make. Yeah, no, me too. I'll always. And then if you're there with them, you would always just say their name. Really, this is the way you refer to somebody when they're not around.
And then if they're not around, what do you care? You're not there.
Yeah, but that's the thing is they do care. They care, and it's the same thing with people who don't like, comedy that might be mean spirited that we were talking about earlier. It's like they care what you think about them, and they want
to know what you're thinking about them at all times,
yes,
even when they're not.
They want to control your thought.
That's just too much. Let it go. Just let it go. Just live your life. Just be free.
John Cleese.
Stop worrying.
John Cleese says that if you can't control your own emotions, you have to try to control other people's actions.
Yeah. No, that's wise.
And it's true.
Whoa. There's like two puppets, and like John Cleese was like, whoa.
Both of the puppets were on John Cleese's hands.
Whoa.
It was all a Monty Python sketch the whole time. Whoa. Well, tell me. What did you learn today?
I learned that if a bald eagle is out there attacking your damn goose, you know what would protect your goose? Put it in a big old fat suit.
Oh, you put that.
You put that goose in a fat suit, that bald eagle, it's going to take him time to get through that. It's going to act like a buffer between your goose and the eagle, and it will give you time to breastfeed your child, and then when you're done, you put that baby down and you can go out there and protect your goose.
Fat suits. Don't let nobody get your goose.
That's what I learned.
Don't let nobody get your goose.
And if somebody tries to get your goose, I'll kick their ass.
Well, I learned that, if I want to preserve our marriage and, if we're going to get married and I want to be in a lasting relationship with you, I have to stop calling you stupid bitch and whore and cunt and witch and whiny little nugget and Jew rat, stupid little Jew.
Yeah.
I have to stop calling you tiny little moron.
And I have to stop making your voice sound like this.
But I guess I could give all those things up if it means we could have a happy marriage.
I don't know.
You love those things?
I love that about you.
Yeah, I know. You're such a stupid bitch. Goodbye.
Bye.